All right, what's up guys? I'm here today to show you how to do a kettlebell swing from the ground up. All right, so one of the things that I like to make sure people understand when they're first learning how to do a swing is that they know that the swing comes from two different movements. All right, the first movement is going to be your plank position. All right, because at the top of a swing, we're in a plank, okay? So at this position, we wanna make sure people understand how to brace their core and engage their glutes in a way that's gonna help them power through the movement of the kettlebell swing. The second movement we want people to understand is a deadlift position, right? Because at the bottom of our swing, or at the start, we're in a deadlift position. All right, so those are the two things I wanna make sure you guys understand first, and then we'll go into the swing itself. All right, so anytime you guys do a plank, like I said before, you wanna make sure that you're in a good solid position at the bottom, all right? Whether you're in a push-up position or on your forearms, all right, always squeezing your glutes, making sure they're engaged, your stomach is tight, and your chest is up, all right? You wanna avoid either sinking our hips or shooting them too high into the air, all right? So we're in that nice tall plank position, glutes are engaged, core is tight, and my eyes are looking right between my hands. That's the same level of tension we want you to feel at the top of your swing. So once you guys have the plank down, we're gonna go over the deadlift, okay? So the deadlift is what you have at the bottom of your plank. So a deadlift is where you straddle the kettlebell and you send your hips back into what we call a hinge position. Now at this point, you should feel a lot of tension in your hamstrings, right? So at the bottom of your deadlift, we're here, hamstrings are engaged, chest is up, back is flat, and then you stand up and squeeze your glutes, okay? So this position here is the bottom of our swing, okay? So once you have those two movements down, then you can effectively learn how to do a kettlebell swing without getting injured and making sure you're using every muscle the way that you're supposed to. So when you approach the bell for a kettlebell swing, you always want to set up to where your feet create a triangle with the kettlebell, okay? So if you can see my stance, I have both my feet next to each other, about hip width apart, and the bell is out in front. Next step you want to do is you want to make sure that when you get set for your swings, you have that nice hinge position, and when you reach out, the kettlebell is out in front of you, all right? Far enough away to where your arms are extended, but your lats are still engaged, okay? So the bell is slightly tilted back towards you, chest up, eyes are looking ahead, and you have this good hinge or deadlift position at the bottom, okay? When we go to start our swing, we wanna make sure that our hips drive as explosively as they can to the top of that rep, okay? If you're not driving hard enough, your swing is going to turn into what we call shoulder shrugging or trying to use your upper body to get the bell to power through. So when you set up for your swing, there's a triangle between you and the bell, hips go back. All right, find that kettlebell to where your arms are reached out, but your lats are still engaged. And then you're gonna hike the bell back and stand up as hard as you can. All right, notice how the kettlebell kind of floats right to my chest height, and then I pull it back down. So a couple of things that we see when people are trying to learn how to do the swing is sometimes people overcompensate by leaning back, all right? What happens when we lean back is we take the power out of our glutes and hamstrings and we put it into our low back. And we also send the kettlebell way above our chest. So one good drill to help prevent this from happening is you could stand up with your back against a wall, feet together, hands stacked one on top of the other, and then you're gonna push your back into the wall so that all points touch, and then you're gonna drive your hands one into the other like this. All right, so right now I feel a lot of tension. I feel that plank position, and there's no possible way for me to lean back. So this is what we're looking for. It's going back to that plank we talked about in the beginning. All right, so to avoid this, you have to squeeze your glutes and turn that plank position on. Okay, nice and tall, right back down. Another thing we see with the kettlebell swing is people tend to swing the kettlebell too low below their knees, right? So when I take the kettlebell and I go to swing, I want to make sure I keep the kettlebell as high up between my legs as I can. A lot of times people come so low down that their back rounds at the bottom, therefore losing that good deadlift position. So what that might look like is this, right? Kettlebell's too low, it's almost scraping the floor, and my back is rounding over. So one way we can try to avoid that is you can put a water bottle or an object behind you, and the key is to make sure you don't knock the bottle over with your backswing, right? So the kettlebell should go high enough between my legs that I miss the height of the water bottle. That's gonna tell me I'm doing it right. If I hike it back and I knock it over, that means I'm letting the kettlebell come too far down towards the ground, okay? So good swings, not good swings. All right. One last thing I want to talk about with your kettlebell swing is that it should always look the same from start to finish. So as soon as you go to set up your swing and as soon as you finish your last rep, it should always look the same. So checkpoints I like to run through in my head. I get my feet set, triangle between me and the bell. I send my hips back. I grab the bell and I turn my lats on. And then I hike it high. I do all of my swings, send it back, and now I'm in that same starting position. All right, we want to try to avoid finishing our reps and doing that, okay? So, just to kind of recap, make sure that you understand how to own a good plank. Make sure you understand how to own a good deadlift, and then just put those pieces together for your kettlebell swing. Run through those checkpoints in your head. Take a video, let me see. I want to know how you guys do.